Hello dear students and welcome back to GDC Classes English. So as you know that GDC has started a series where we are going to discuss some of the important topics, and these topics will be helpful for all your pharma competitive examination. So previously we have seen the part 1 of the cosmetics, and in today's class we are going to discuss part 2 of the cosmetics, under which we are going to discuss about the next topic, that is for the nails and the hygiene products. So let's get started. So when it comes to about the nail and the hygiene products, so in the nails we have the nail paints or nail lacquers, then we have nail removers and cuticle removers. So a set of manicure preparation. So the nail preparation, they are also known as manicure preparation. It consists of number of different cosmetic products which are concerned with cleansing and decoration of the nails. So for cleaning of the nails, removal of the cuticles, for all these products comes under the cosmetic, that is the manicure preparation. So as discussed, we have nail lacquers, and nail lacquers are nothing but nail polish or nail paints, and auxiliary products are nothing but cuticle removers, nail bleaches and nail whites. Nail creams are also there, so to make it to keep it soft or to keep it hydrated, there are various nail creams also available in the market. So let's see what are the important composition in the nail lacquers, what is the primary ingredient present. Please remember that each of the cosmetic preparation has some unique ingredient that you have to remember. So first is about the nail lacquers. Okay, so when it comes about the nail lacquers or nail paints or nail polish, the very first important ingredient is about the film former. Okay, so this helps to form the film and it remains intact on the surface of the nails. So film formers, the basic is about the cellulose derivative. These are the polymers. These are the cellulose nitrates or cellulose acetate. Remember this. Mostly cellulose nitrates are widely used in case of your nail lacquers, and apart from that you will have different ingredients, but the primary ingredients which is help to form the film, and it will make sure that the film will not come out easily and it will remain intact on the surface of the nails. So that work is done by cellulose nitrate, which is most widely used, and the next one is about the cellulose acetate. So these two are the film formers. Next is certain kind of solvents. Okay, because nail paints and nail lacquers, they are liquid in nature, so you have to ensure that certain kind of solvents will be present. We use low boiling solvent because they have the tendency to evaporate faster, but apart from that you have different high boiling and medium boiling solvents also. Okay, so high boiling like butyl acetate and ethyl oxalate, they are less widely used. As I told you, low boiling solvents are very widely used because they have the tendency to evaporate faster. That is the reason that drying will occur faster. Next is medium boiling, that is isopropyl acetate and toluene, and low boiling ether acetone, methyl acetate. No matter which type of solvent you are using, they are organic solvents. Okay, they are organic solvents. Next is certain kind of diluents. Okay, for example, there can be a mixture of one or two different solvents. So diluents can be alcohol, benzene, xylene or toluene. Next is plasticizer. Okay, after applying the nail lacquers, there has to be certain kind of flexibility. It should not break easily. So that flexibility to the nail paints or the nail polish, they are provided by certain kind of plasticizer. Okay, they are provided by plasticizer. Their work is to give the flexibility. So these are nothing but solvents only. So they impart flexible, and it will also give certain kind of glossy nature to the film rather than matte structure, and also help in adhesion to the films to the nails. Okay, so there are various kinds of plasticizers which are available like dibutyl phthalates, resorcinol, castor oil, etc. Okay, so there are various kinds of plasticizer to give the flexibility to the film. Okay, so if you remember, in the capsule also we are using flexible plasticizer to give the flexibility. Next are important colors. So there are different colors available in the market depending upon the pigments. It can be light to darker shade. So, and titanium dioxide is also added as a part to improve the shade of the color. Okay, for example, if one color is very darker, you can add titanium dioxide and make it to the lighter shade. Okay, So that is the reason they have used titanium dioxide. Okay. Apart from that, there are iron oxide, usually between 3 to 5%. Depending upon the requirement, what shade is required, you can add the pigment. So colors, pigments, they come under this one. And these are the insoluble pigments and the lake colors. Okay. So there is a difference between dyes and the lakes. So dyes and the lakes, these are types of colors only. Dyes are normal insoluble pigment. Lakes are something which are the anhydrous forms of the dyes. Okay, so whatever your hydrous material or whatever your adsorbents are present, basically the dyes will be adsorbed on certain kind of material which we call it as adsorbent. And when the dyes are adsorbed onto certain kind of adsorbent, we call it as a lakes. So lakes are nothing but the dyes only which are adsorbed. Okay, so that is the reason they have given these are the insoluble pigments and these are the lake colors. They are used along with titanium dioxide. Remember, titanium dioxide is not a pigment, but it is used to modify the shade of the pigment. And generally, normally between say 3 to 5% they will add this. Next is pearlescent effect. Pearlescent, like we have seen in the shampoo also, like conditioner, they add this pearlescent to give like gloss like structure or pearl like appearance after applying to the nails. So impart pearl appearance to the film. So remember 2-amino-6-oxypurine, that is a crystalline guanine, and bismuth oxychloride pigment. So these are helpful for giving the pearlescent effect to the nails. Okay. So remember the important ingredients. Film formers are very widely used and these are the main ingredients. Okay. If it is not present, how you will ensure that the colors which are applied to the nails are remain intact or not. Okay. So these are the important ingredients. Then there are certain kind of solvents, plasticizer, colors and the pearlescent. Okay, this depends. Pearlescent ingredient depends whether it is a matte or whether it is a shiny, glossy nail lacquers. But film formers should be present in each and every nail paints. Next is about the nail lacquer remover. So you know that there are various solvents which are available to remove the nail paints. Okay. So acetone is like very widely used. So there are different kinds of solvent. Now you have to ensure that the solvent which are used for the nail lacquer remover should dissolve the cellulose nitrate which we have seen. Okay, because that is the film which has been formed. If your solvent is not able to dissolve the film, then it will be difficult to remove. Okay, so you have to select a solvent in such a way that it will dissolve your cellulose nitrate or cellulose acetate, because that is something which is forming the film on the nails. Okay, and also you have to make sure whenever we are using organic solvent, they have the property or they have the tendency of drying out. So if you apply, nails may become dry, it may become brittle. So to avoid that, we have to make sure that it should be combined with certain kind of emollient, because it will not or it will prevent the drying of the nails. So the solvents of nitrocellulose, that means the solvent which can dissolve nitrocellulose, are used as a nail lacquer remover. These are often combined with certain kind of oils, emollients or any kind of agents, and it is designed to prevent or reduce the drying of the skin and the nails. Okay, because they have the tendency of drying out. That is the reason, for example, if there is one kind of conical flask and if there is certain kind of water, we generally add certain kind of acetone or ethanol so that it evaporates faster, because they have the tendency of drying out. So that is one reason we add certain kind of emollient agent, we add certain kind of oils to prevent the drying of the skin and the nails. It consists of suitable blend, that is it consists of mixture of methyl ethyl ketone, ethyl acetate, butyl acetate, acetone, oil or lanolin. Not necessarily that every time these solvents will be present, one or more solvents may be present. Okay, acetone is generally very widely used. Next is cuticle remover. Okay, cuticle is something which is like present on the edge of the nails. For example, this is the nail, then this surface here the cuticles are present. It is just to beautify or for the beautification of the nails. So here you can see the edges. So these are nothing but cuticle, and cuticle removers can be done by mechanical like tweezers or something. So these are the cuticle remover. For enhancement of the beauty of hands, cuticle membrane is removed either mechanically or chemically. So generally tweezers are applied. So that was all about the nail lacquers and the nail paint removers. Okay. Now next is about the dentifrices. This is about the hygiene products. Your toothpaste, tooth powders, mouthwash, everything comes under the dentifrices. Okay. So the products termed as dentifrices are used to keep the teeth clean, shiny, and to inhibit the formation of any unpleasant odor in mouth, freshen the breath. Okay. So there are certain reasons basically to clean and maintain the hygiene of the teeth. So dentifrices, under dentifrices we have tooth powders, toothpaste, and the mouth rinse or the mouth washes. Okay. So let's see what are the important ingredients. Again, there are certain important ingredients in the toothpaste. The very first is about the abrasive and the polishing agent, one and the same. This helps to clean the teeth properly. So removal of dental plaque and stain to polish the enamel. Enamel is nothing but the outer surface, the accessible surface of the teeth, right? You do not go inside and clean very deeply, right? You just clean the surface of the teeth. That surface, that layer is known as enamel of the teeth. Generally it is white in color. So the examples, to clean the teeth, we have certain kind of abrasive and the polishing agent. Example are the calcium containing compounds. Okay, remember, to clean the surface of the teeth, that is enamel, we have the calcium containing compound, that is calcium carbonate, dicalcium phosphate, and calcium pyrophosphate. Okay, so this is main ingredient. Now the next comes your detergents or foaming agent, right? Definitely if the foam is not generated, it will not be easy to clean the surface of the teeth. So foaming agents are required, generally your detergents with certain kind of higher HLB surfactants we are using. So it imparts more effective cleaning due to the lower surface tension. So it helps to lower the surface tension and it gives the effective cleaning. So generally the surfactant like sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium and lauryl sarcosin, and you should not use in very high quantity because these are surfactants. So generally 2% are sufficient to form the foam. Next is humectant. We have seen in case of paste, creams, humectants are required because it prevents drying of the toothpaste, right? If you take out the toothpaste and if it is accessible to the surrounding, then there are chances it may get dry out. So that is the reason you should add humectants that prevents the drying out and retains the moisture. So it is used only in the toothpaste. Definitely there are tooth powders also, but we are not going to add humectant in tooth powder because tooth powders are already in a solid form, already in the dry form, right? So it retains the moisture when the paste is exposed to the air. So the same kind of humectant you might have seen in case of your capsule and everything. Wherever you have seen humectant, in the creams also the same ingredient, that is your glycerin, sorbitol, propylene glycol. So these are the ingredients that are added to prevent the drying out of the toothpaste. Okay, so I hope till here it is clear to all of you. Next are binders. Now again, binders are added only in case of toothpaste, not in tooth powders. The reason is binders are required because see, you have certain kind of solid ingredients plus you have this liquid ingredients. So when they are mixed together, there has to be certain kind of binding agent which will make sure that the solid and liquid will not separate. So for that reason you will add the binding agent. Okay, for that reason you will add the binding agent. Now in case of tooth powders, liquid ingredients are not present, only solid ingredients are present. So in that case binders are not required. So binders, because solid and liquid ingredients are present in toothpaste, the binders are added only in the toothpaste and not in the tooth powders. So here you can see it is used only in toothpaste add mixture of solid and liquid phases get separated during the storage. So you should add when there are chances that solid and liquid ingredient may separate out during storage. So it is added in the toothpaste. So your examples are like natural and some are synthetic. So 𝙂𝙋𝘼𝙎𝙎𝙬, agar, alginate and bentonite, sodium CMC. CMC is your carboxy methyl cellulose, then 𝙂𝙂𝙎 and carbopol. Okay. 𝙂𝙂𝙎 is magnesium aluminum silicate and carbopol. So these are the binders which are generally used. Next are preservatives. So it is used to prevent the formulation from the microbial contamination. Any kind of contamination should not be there, should not be present in the toothpaste. So formalin, parabens and dichlorophene. So formalin is your 40% formaldehyde. 40% formaldehyde is known as formalin. It acts as preservative. Parabens are your para-hydroxybenzoate like methyl parabens and propyl parabens and dichlorophene. So these are several ingredients which act as a preservative. Next is antibacterial, which have the same role like preservative. It reduces the bacterial plaque easily removed by toothbrushing. So antibacterial is like it prevents the bacterial growth in the mouth, and it prevents the bacterial plaque which is removed by the toothbrushing. The examples are triclosan, most widely used. Okay, so whatever the highlighted ingredients are there, please remember, because they are very specific to that particular cosmetic products. Next is anti-caries agent. So they are also helping to prevent the dental decay. Okay, so tooth decay happens especially after eating certain kind of chocolates, especially in children. So to prevent the tooth decay, we have anti-caries agent, that is sodium fluoride, sodium lauryl sarcosine, sodium monofluorophosphate. Okay, there are chances you may get confused between the ingredient, but once you revise it, you will understand that each ingredient is specific and their examples are also important. Okay, so that was about abrasive and the polishing agent. We have seen about the foaming agents. Foaming agents, they have higher HLB. HLB of your SLS, HLB value is 40. So generally higher HLB have the foaming capacity and lower HLB are the anti-foaming agents. Okay. Next is about the humectant. Humectant is present only in toothpaste, not in tooth powders. Binders again only in toothpaste because liquid ingredient is present in the toothpaste, not in tooth powders. Preservatives are there, parabens and all, antimicrobial agents or antibacterial agents, and the anti-caries agent. So this table is important, remember this. Next is about the tooth powder. As we have discussed, more or less ingredients are similar in case of toothpaste and the tooth powders. So very first is cleaning and the polishing, that is the abrasive agents. So these are calcium containing compounds, dental grade silicas, dicalcium phosphate, insoluble sodium metaphosphate and calcium pyrophosphate. Next is surfactant, again similar, sodium lauryl sulfate. Surfactant are required, whether it is your toothpaste, tooth powder, surfactants are required. Next is sweetener, that is sodium saccharin. Saccharin is 500 times sweeter as compared to sucrose. It is an artificial sweetener. 500 times sweeter as compared to your sucrose. Okay, sweeteners are there. Next is your flavoring agents, because see, more time it will be there in your this mouth cavity. So volatile oil like peppermint, spearmint, clove oil, anise oil. So these are the flavoring agents. So here you can see there are no binders present and there are no humectants present because these are the tooth powders. Okay. Next is mouth rinse. So for after tooth brushing and all, mouth rinse are present. So very first is alcohol. Alcohol is a natural preservative. So ethanol 5 to 25%. Again certain kind of flavors and sweeteners just for the acceptability like taste. Saccharin as sweeteners with flavor. Next is humectant. Here humectant is added because not for the prevention, because if only alcohol is present, that is first of all volatile and it will be very liquid. So to increase the viscosity, we are adding certain kind of humectants. So you can see sorbitol, glycerin, they are highly viscous liquid, so you can add 5 to 20%. Next is surfactant, again pluronic, F127, F108, twin 80. Remember, pluronics are also known as poloxamers. Pluronics are nothing but poloxamers, and fluorides for the therapeutic activity like triclosan, pyrophosphate, iron, and chlorhexidine. Okay, so that will help to clean the surface of the enamel. Okay, so these are various ingredients present in tooth powder and the mouthwashes or the mouth rinse. Next one is about cosmetics for baby. We have certain baby products also. So as you know that same ingredients which adults are using, you cannot use same ingredients for baby because their skin is very sensitive, not like adults. So baby products are different and adult products are different. For example, like we are using sodium lauryl sulfate, right? Parabens we are using. So they are not very much safe even for adults, but we are using in lesser percentage, but you should not use for the baby. So we have different products like baby oil, baby shampoo, so many are there. So little bit we will see, like as far as the pharmaceutical perspective is considered. So the very first is about the baby soap. So pH is slightly acidic because of the skin pH 4.5 to 5. If the pH of the baby soap is very much lower than this or higher, then there are chances of irritation. Okay, so the pH should be maintained between 4.5 to 5. Do not contain sodium lauryl sulfate. Okay, although it is a foaming agent, it should not have SLS because it is not friendly to the baby's skin. So skin irritation property, generally like very famous is the Johnson baby soft soap. Then we have baby shampoos. So use surfactant which will have no tear effect. No tear effect is because these shampoo do not cause the tear or irritation to the eyes. They do not have this potential. So we call it as no tear effect. Okay. So use the surfactant which have no tear effect. Since these do not contain soap that have no irritation, no eye irritation potential, we call it as no tear effect. Next is baby talcum powder. Because the baby powders or the normal powders that we adult are using that have little bit higher particle size, which is safe for adults because our skin is not much sensitive as compared to baby's skin. So we have to use baby powders which will have the lesser particle size. You please remember the particle size for this, that is for the baby powders. So that is should be 15 to 40 micron. 15 to 40 micron. Boric acid is generally prohibited. Talc can safely be used for the babies. Next is baby lotion. Again, Johnson products, they are for the baby products. So baby lotions, we are having propylene glycol, myristate. They have the skin conditioning effects, not much irritating to the skin. Next is emollient and thickening agent like C12 and to C13 alkyl benzoate. Then cetyl alcohol, emollient and co-emulsifier. So these are giving the soothing effect to the baby skin. So it acts as a baby lotion. Next, baby oils. Most of the companies are having these baby oils. So they provide one layer over the skin and act as emollient or as moisturizing effect. Like example, groundnut oil, mineral oil, lanolin. So these are like very famous oil that can be safely used for the baby skin. Okay. So remember, wherever it is highlighted, you should not use SLS. The pH is important. The particle size that you are using for baby powders is important. Then you have the baby lotion, baby oil. Okay. So these are some of the overviews of the baby products that should be used. So that was all about the cosmetics related products that we have seen. So there are some important terminologies that I would like to discuss regarding the cosmetics. So first is bromhidrosis. Okay, bromhidrosis. Sometimes in your MCQ you may get these types of question like what is bromhidrosis, like that. So bromhidrosis is the medical term for body odor. BB you can remember, it is easy. So bromhidrosis is nothing but for the body odor. So it is a condition which causes the sweat to smell. Okay, we have the tendency to, like, body has the tendency to sweat, but if that is giving certain kind of smell which is foul and which is not like very soothing, then that will be because of the breakdown of the sweat of certain kind of bacteria and yeast, and this condition need to be treated. Okay, so this is a medical condition, we call it as bromhidrosis. And the word bromhidrosis is derived from the Greek word. Remember, they may ask you, is it derived from the Greek word? It is derived from the Latin word, like that. So it is derived from the Greek word, that is bromos. Bromos means stench and hydrosis means sweat. Okay, so it is nothing but the breakdown of the sweat by bacteria or yeast, and that is giving some foul smell. We call it as the bromhidrosis, and it is derived from the Greek word. The next is about the corneometer. Okay, so next is corneometer. It indicates that it is certain kind of device. Yes, it is a device, but it is used to measure the hydration level of the superficial layers of the skin. Okay, so our skin should be hydrated. So how to measure the hydration level? That is using the corneometer. Okay, and the superficial means the stratum corneum, the outermost layer, because stratum corneum is the rate limiting barrier. It decides what are the ingredients which will cross the barrier. Okay, so stratum corneum via measurement of skin dielectric properties. Okay, so dielectricity properties, they are related to the hydration level. As the skin is dielectric medium, variation in hydration show up through changes in the capacity. Okay, so this is a corneometer. Depending upon how your dielectric capacity is changing, that will decide the hydration level of the skin. For you, what is important is, what is the use of corneometer? To check the hydration level of the superficial layers of the skin. So that was all about bromhidrosis and the corneometer, and we will see you all with the next topic in the upcoming series of Pharma Thunderstorm. So stay tuned, and all the very best for your preparations.